What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Funky Vibe channel. This is going to be the first video of a series that I'm creating. It's going to be an artist spotlight series. Today I'm interviewing SammyMaee. She is a gamer streamer. She's also my sister. We are going to be interviewing just different people as I go, just talking about their life, how they got there, and yeah, that's without further ado, we're going to...
Hi, my name is Samantha. My gamer is SammyMaee. I am 24 years old, born and raised in Arizona, and I have a 6-year-old daughter named...
So, Sammy, your gamer tag or your Twitch ID, it's always been SammyMaee?
SammyMaee, yeah. I actually, so a lot of people call me Sammy. My middle name's Marie. So when I was probably 16 or 15, I had to create my own email, and I shortened it. So I just made it SammyMaee instead of Samantha Marie, and
Sure.
Ever since then, everything's kind of just been SammyMaee for me.
SammyMaee. Nice. So one of the first things I want to do, we're going to do a 60-second rapid fire question. Just go ahead, think about whatever comes to your mind. Let's get a timer going.
Okay.
Just whatever comes to your mind, the first thing that you can think of.
The pressure's on.
Pressure is on for sure. Doop, 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 doop.
Palms sweating.
You're sweating? Are you nervous for these questions?
A little nervous.
What kind of questions do you think are going to be in there?
I don't know. Controversial questions.
Controversial questions? No,
Yeah, maybe.
It's not. I don't have anything like that. All right.
All
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. First question. Beef or chicken?
Beef.
Beef. What's your favorite drink to drink while gaming?
Water.
Water? Okay.
Hydrate.
Interesting. All right. If you had to pick one place to travel to, anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Miami.
Miami. Okay. Who's your favorite streamer?
Lulu Lovely.
Lulu Lovely? All right. Fuck one, marry one, kill one.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling, Daltouche, Justin Bieber, go.
Oh, okay. So, marry Daltouche, fuck Ryan Gosling, kill Justin Bieber.
Kill Justin Bieber?
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, my love.
All right, you got to choose one genre of music to listen to for the rest of your life.
House.
House. Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Okay. Favorite movie killer?
Favorite movie killer? Oh, I don't really watch a lot of scary movies. I guess like the Demogorgon or
The Demogorgon? Okay. Last one. If you had to choose to travel, if you got to time travel and you got to choose either forward or backwards, which way would you go?
Backwards.
Good. Why?
I don't know. There's a lot of different things I guess I would have done in life. Just as like a lot of people say, is like you know more when the more you get older and
The
different
wiser you get.
decisions. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Tell
makes
myself
sense.
not to be dumb.
Tell yourself not to be dumb. That's so funny. Awesome. Okay, so just let's go over like the history of your gaming. Like, how'd you get here? How did you where'd you start at? What was like the first thing that you played? First game?
Okay. So the earliest memory I have of gaming is definitely the Nintendo 64. I remember playing the Pokemon Snap and Go
Yeah,
game. That
Pokemon
Capture?
Snap.
Is that what it was?
Pokemon Snap.
It's Pokemon Snap. That was like one of my favorite games to play.
Pokemon Snap, definitely. I totally agree. One of the best games that was out there.
but
You know
that
that
was
they're
a
coming
really-
out with the Nintendo Switch game of that one?
Really?
Yeah, I swear. It's supposed to. I don't know when they're supposed to come out with it, but yeah, it's like a new
they
thing.
should. But yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite games on Nintendo 64. And then of course you had Smash Brothers, Super
Oh, yeah.
Smash
Smash
Brothers.
Bros,
Everyone
yeah.
played that. I mean, back then, you know, it was like games were more just of like a fun thing to do.
Sure.
And not more of the like technical skill aspect. So
Yeah.
it was
Wasn't
like
as sweaty.
Yeah.
But it was sweaty
But
because it was
yeah.
it was competition.
It was like competition kind of between you and me on the games.
For sure.
But I wasn't skilled with the controller, okay?
Yeah.
We'll just go.
We'll talk about, the Nintendo 64 controller, maybe one of the worst controllers ever
Yeah.
made, but also very nostalgic. I still love it to this
Yeah.
day. But yeah.
Definitely.
What else did you play like after that? Can you remember like what?
I remember playing Diablo a lot.
Yeah.
We would, you and me, we would definitely play like Diablo on our laptops in separate rooms.
Yep.
And I remember doing that. I don't remember a lot of the game itself, except for like very like little details, like certain bosses and things of that sort, and like being in caves. And I remember playing the Sorceress. Yeah. She was my favorite.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Dope. Yeah.
Do you remember the PS2 that we had for a while?
Yeah, I think so. It was down in the living room, right?
So we played Crash Bandicoot a lot. I remember that was like one of the games that we had. I remember like both of us playing back to back, Crash Bandicoot. Whatever.
Probably.
I forget which Crash Bandicoot it was.
I know we also
Back in Time, I think is what it was called.
Yeah, and I remember playing Spyro a lot on the GameCube in Texas.
Yeah.
Then we had the Wii. Played a little bit of the Wii, Wii Tennis. Played a lot of Mario Kart.
On the Wii.
Yeah, a lot of Mario Kart. Had the whole wheel controller that you that you could stick it in and actually do the driving on it.
Absolutely.
I don't remember what other games we had it on.
I remember sports.
Wii
that was
bowling,
pretty much
Wii bowling, Wii Tennis. Yeah.
All the sports games were like really big, but then Mario Kart and like maybe a couple other games, but I don't remember that
much other than like the Mario Kart. And then from there, I mean, we had an Xbox when we shared. What was the game that we used to play? It was like kind of like Mortal Kombat. I don't know if it was exactly Mortal Kombat, but it was similar.
So we did have Soul Calibur for a little bit, but also it was Dead or Alive. We played a lot of Dead or Alive. I think it was Dead or Alive 3 or 4, but yeah.
Yeah, we played a lot of that, and that was the first gen of the Xbox that came out that we had, right? Yeah. And then at that point, I think I kind of like stopped gaming for a little bit, because I got like towards high school. I got involved in volleyball, and so that kind of just took over like my free time was just doing the sport and, hanging out with friends and getting homework done. But then recently, probably about a year and a half ago or 2 years now, maybe 2.5 years, I got a PlayStation. So kind of started it all back up.
PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah, PlayStation 4. And Overwatch was the first game. Yeah, that was what kind of got me started back on the path of actually gaming all the time.
Right. So Overwatch was like a pretty big, we'd say like monumental towards like your gaming history.
Yeah, most definitely. I played that. I played countless hours on that. I got really into it. How we were talking about Mercy or Diva. Yeah. The only reason I ever started playing Mercy though was because I noticed the lack of like healers.
So you switched over to
healers.
healers.
So I switched over to Mercy because I was like, you know what, I'm going to be the good healer then.
Right. That's kind of, I know that feeling. Yeah. Definitely with WoW. When I was playing WoW, I was the same way. It's like, all right, I'm going to be the healer. I'll keep everyone alive.
Yeah, fine.
But then that everything will fall back onto you.
Right. You have to like actually own up to being a good healer at that point.
Yeah. Well, if you're not a good healer, then everybody's going to look at you like, damn,
right.
dude,
Which is the exact reason that I had switched over to healer in the first place.
Bro.
Yeah.
The fuck.
What are you doing?
Sure.
So that's when I really started getting into like playing comp and like how rotations and different people work and who's the best characters to like team up with and things like that. So I would say like, I mean, I still play it, but at least a year and a half solid, just Overwatch on PlayStation.
And then you moved on to what?
Apex. As soon as Apex came out, that was day one. Went to Apex and never looked back. Well, I switched to PC. So I mean,
how long have you been on PC for?
Probably a month and a week now. So almost a month and a half, I would say.
Sure. What kind of PC do you have? Do you know?
I have an i7 6700.
7600, I think.
7600. I'm not sure which one it is. But then I have a AMD 5700 RX, or I'm sorry, XT, and then it's water cooling for the PC build, and then I have a 28-inch 4K Samsung monitor,
right?
Razer keyboard and Razer mouse.
How much RAM are you running? Do you know?
16 gigabytes.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty nice build. And it helps you with your streaming, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
So how long have you been streaming for?
Probably almost a year. So I believe it was like October of last year is when I like really started to stream. But It was more for fun.
But you've only
at
been on
that time.
PC for
About a month and a half.
So you were streaming on
PS4.
PlayStation.
Yeah, and it's crazy different and so much better. Like there's so much more that you can do on PC than PlayStation. So the reason I even like had started streaming is I had a friend on PlayStation that I played Apex with who was trying to start to get into streaming just like I was off of his PlayStation. And he actually had gotten hosted by Daltouche during the middle of a game. I kind of popped off during the game. And everybody was freaking out like, oh, I would totally watch Sammy. Like, Sammy, you need to stream. Like, and so I was like, you know what? Maybe I will. Like, the only reason I had started was purely for fun, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
The PlayStation gang, you stand by it still?
Not like saying Xbox is horrible, but I just feel that PlayStation is cleaner, I guess you would say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, and I would say the Xbox is a little bit more powerful. Definitely.
I mean, with these new gens coming out, we'll have to see.
The new gens, yeah. Are you excited?
I am really excited, but I don't know if I'll get one.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I have a PC, and I didn't even use my PlayStation, so I just don't know if it's worth the money to spend on when I could be upgrading something in my PC now.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the new graphics cards, they're set to come out, I think, this year. I mean, there's talks around it and whatnot.
Yeah.
I would probably agree. I don't know how I feel about buying a new console, even though I really, really want to buy the new Xbox.
Right.
I mean, it
looks crazy.
Yeah.
Both of them do.
It's going to be crazy as far as the amount of graphics that they're going to be able to push out.
There's always going to be that PlayStation Xbox rivalry and always trying to push and compete and be better than the other.
Yeah.
You know, it's
But
just going
then,
to continue.
You know, the master race right now is definitely PC.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
PC will always be able to outdo Xbox.
You can just do so much more on it. I mean,
I
it's
agree.
literally a computer.
We talked about it. We talked about
Yeah.
it with the games, Steam, and
Yeah.
all the other platforms or other launchers and everything that you
Right.
can get the games on. So
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. So we talked about like a little bit of your favorite games to play. Do you have any games that you like really didn't like? Like,
So most recently, the game that I didn't like when we started playing it was Dead by Daylight. I couldn't hit the stupid freaking
Skill checks? Yeah.
And I was blowing gens left and right. It was basically the first week, I would say.
Yeah.
Me. I was just like, no.
oh my god, this fucking game sucks. I don't know what to do. Oh my god, I give up. I give up.
So it was definitely a learning curve, and
Yeah,
I hated it.
absolutely.
I just did not even want to play it. I was mad that I bought it. I was debating about returning it.
Yeah.
Already I'm having to learn the learning curve of switching from a controller to mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm starting to come around, I think. It's starting to become more interesting, and I'm starting to like understand different aspects of the game that I didn't really see in the beginning.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my typical type of game that I like to play. And the more I played it, I mean, repetition, right? Is like the more you play it, the better you get. So
Sure. So I kind of want to touch back on what you had just said, the amount of the learning curve between, going from PS4
Right.
to mouse and keyboard. I mean, do you think that's a pretty big curve, or like is it pretty easy to understand because you've been around
Right.
computers a long time? Do you think you kind of have an advantage in that as well?
Per se, yeah. I mean, I work on computers for like customer service call centers all the
Sure.
time. So navigating computers isn't necessarily an issue. And then I'm not like a horrible typer. It's not like I don't know the keyboard. So the thing that I feel like I run in the most is games that I already knew how to play on PS4 with a controller. Switching from that to a mouse and keyboard, it's definitely difficult for me because I know how to play the game.
Right,
and so
like
it's
on
more
Apex.
frustrating, yeah.
Yeah, so
Apex especially.
So you're still a controller player
On Apex, yeah. I mean, I tried for 3 days and I was literally just so frustrated because I know the movement. I know how I can kill people. I know how to shield. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. But the movement from a controller to a keyboard is just insane. It's like multiple buttons, whereas like a slide jump on controller is just simplistic,
Sure.
So-
Some would say simplistic. I mean, I think some people going from, mouse and keyboard to a controller would
Right.
have, just as difficult of a time.
Yeah.
There is still a very big, I think Daltouche still plays on
Controller.
He does still play on controller.
Yeah,
I think a
he
lot
does.
of people play on controller. I think
Sword Johnny.
Yeah.
Sword Johnny plays on a scuff controller also.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just it's probably just a preference,
Yeah.
Like you learned that game on a controller, so it's really hard to switch over to
Right.
something different.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's just it's going to be a preference regardless. I mean, you're going to have one way or the other.
Right. But then again, you also have some fallbacks on that, like example in Apex, mouse and keyboard on PC, you're able to loot the boxes and move. I'm playing against all these PC players who can move and loot, and I have to make sure that I'm watching my surroundings because I can't do that. I need to just loot the box and go.
So do you think that people are toxic against controller players or?
From the PC community,
Yeah.
I would say a half of them at least.
Big toxic or small toxic?
Some are probably big toxic. I would say majority are small toxic.
So what do you how would you describe toxic players just in general?
It could be a lot of different things, to be honest. It could be as far as I wouldn't really consider a teabag toxic. You're having fun, but some people consider that to be a toxic trait of somebody.
Yeah.
Talking crap to people and when they're good and they know that they're better, the whole talking crap to somebody and calling them trash or
Sure.
The whole aspect or saying controller players are trash because they're go back to PlayStation, you have a controller, you might as well be playing mouse and keyboard on PC. I don't know, there's a lot of different things that could be considered toxic.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, toxic is a big part of the community, whether we'd like it or not. A lot of toxic stuff isn't the end of the world. It's part of stuff that you deal with.
Right.
But
just in a gaming community.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a level where it becomes not so toxic, but
And
rather
just
than
mean.
just mean. No racism.
Right.
No hate speeches.
Right.
None of that. That's
and that should just be a given.
You would think so.
Right.
You would think so, but it's not a given to everybody. So you do got to put it out there and say that this is not acceptable. I mean, you do have to put your foot down at some point.
Right.
Trolling people, is it toxic? Yeah. But I mean, it's also
fun and games.
It's all in fun and games unless you're just, flat out being
rude.
Do
It happens
you think
to
there's
them.
a circle of that though?
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
because I know when it happens to me, I'm like, oh, well, now I have the chance. So you know what? I'm going to mess around for a little bit. Content, especially for content creators, that's a lot. That's a big part of it. It's funny to watch. On the other end, it might not be so funny
on
at
the
the
other
time.
side.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also a big part of content for content creators. So
Yeah.
I think if everyone kind of just stopped doing it, it would be good for everyone. It would be an even level playing field. There's no toxicity in the games. But also, gaming content would simply just be gaming content.
Right.
There wouldn't be
Absolutely.
haha jokes in it or funny
Absolutely.
puns or things like that. So.
Totally. And that's something that you deal with, as a content creator. You definitely want to bring your viewers into, yourself, somebody who you are. If you want to make jokes and be semi-toxic, then that's, who you are. What do you think about the word e-girl?
I cringe.
Cringe?
I cringe.
Why?
Because I play games to play games. I don't want people to watch me for my looks. I want people to watch me because I'm good. Mm-hmm. Not saying all of them are bad at games. Some of them are cracked and they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But I would say majority of them are there for the appearance and for the attention. And it's not about games at that point. I'm playing games and I'm not great at the game, but look at me. So the e-girl term makes me mad.
So you wouldn't consider yourself an e-girl?
I mean, technically.
So technically?
Am I? Because I'm a girl and I play games?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be called an e-girl.
Any closing thoughts? What do you think of this interview?
It was fun. I had a great time. Great questions.
Yeah.
And we talked about a lot. So I think that the series is going to be great.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming over and hanging out and chit-chatting.
Yeah. Follow my Twitch.
Yeah, seriously. No, so go over to twitch.tv/SammyMaee. Go check her out. Like I said, follows are always free. We like to stream together too, so maybe you'll catch us both at the same time. We both play a lot of Apex, Dead by Daylight. We got into Among Us,
Yeah.
and Fall Guys. There's a lot of great games that we will play together. So, and then if you haven't been over to our Discords, you can always go to our Discords, stop in there, check it out. You can also, drop your names in the general chat, throw some memes in there. There's a lot of stuff going on, and you can be a part of it too. So
Yeah.
again,
Join the Sam Bam fam.
Join
Join
the
the Funky Goat Squad.
Goat Squad.
Yep. Make sure you guys hit the bell notification
Oh yeah,
and subscribe to
the
his
subscribe
channel
right
also.
here, or it might be the subscribe right over
This area,
Right over
in
that-
general area.
that way.
I think it's going to be a great series, and that everyone should definitely stick around and continue to watch it.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by.